Daily Horoscope for Taurus, June 14, 2025. Dear Taurus, today presents a fascinating cosmic landscape that's particularly significant for your sign. With the Sun firmly in Gemini, occupying your second house of finances and values, your attention is naturally drawn toward material concerns and personal resources. This isn't merely about money, though financial matters may certainly arise today, but about recognizing your inner worth and talents. The day begins with a powerful lunar influence, as the moon traverses the depths of Scorpio in your seventh house of partnerships. This creates an emotionally charged atmosphere in your closest relationships, bringing hidden feelings to the surface. You may find yourself engaging in profound conversations that reveal truths you've both been avoiding. This isn't something to fear, Taurus. Your natural steadfastness allows you to navigate these emotional waters with surprising grace. Venus, your planetary ruler, is currently dancing through Cáncer, activating your communication sector. This placement sweetens your words and makes today exceptional for expressing feelings that might normally remain locked in your heart. Whether you're in a romantic relationship, nurturing friendships, or engaging in professional connections, your ability to articulate your emotional needs is enhanced. People will find your authenticity refreshing and compelling. Mercury in Gemini is forming a significant sextile to Jupiter today, expanding your financial thinking and potentially bringing news regarding income or resources. Keep your ears open for opportunities that might initially seem small, but have potential for substantial growth. Your practical nature serves you well here. You can discern which prospects have real substance behind the exciting veneer. Mars in Leo is energizing your home and family sector, which might manifest as a sudden urge to redecorate, reorganize, or resolve a lingering domestic issue. Channel this dynamic energy constructively rather than allowing it to emerge as impatience with family members. A home project started today could bring immense satisfaction when completed. The most significant astrological aspect affecting you today is Saturn in Pisces forming a trine to your Sun. This supportive angle between disciplined Saturn and your steadfast Taurus energy creates a foundation for meaningful long-term progress. Structures you build now, whether in your career, relationships, or personal development, have staying power. This is an excellent day for making commitments that align with your deepest values. Uranus continues its long journey through your sign, forming an interesting square to Neptune in Aries today. This aspect challenges you to balance your desire for practical stability against spiritual or creative impulses that defy logical explanation. You might experience tension between wanting to stick with tried-and-true methods and feeling called to experiment with innovative approaches. Neither path is wrong. The wisdom lies in knowing when each serves you best. Pluto in Aquarius is transforming your career and public reputation sector, perhaps bringing subtle power dynamics to the surface in professional situations. Today, you might become aware of how you can reclaim authority in an area where you've felt disempowered. This isn't about controlling others, but about owning your expertise and influence. In matters of love, coupled Taurians may discover new layers to their partnership today. The Scorpio moon encourages emotional vulnerability, which can deepen intimacy if you're willing to share what you typically keep private. Single Taurus individuals might feel drawn to someone who challenges their usual type, someone who introduces them to perspectives that expand their worldview. Either way, authenticity is your greatest attraction factor today. Health-wise, pay attention to your throat and neck area, the bodily region ruled by Taurus. Tension might accumulate here as you process the day's emotional revelations. Gentle stretching, warming teas, and conscious relaxation of your jaw and shoulders will help maintain physical comfort. Your usual approach to self-care, likely involving sensory pleasures like good food, music, or touch, is particularly effective today. Financially, the Sun in your resource sector highlights money matters, while the Mercury-Jupiter aspect suggests positive developments. However, be mindful of impulsive purchases triggered by emotional states. The Uranus influence in your sign can sometimes lead to unexpected expenses or sudden financial insights. Today favors careful planning over spontaneous financial decisions. Your career benefits from the Saturn trine, suggesting that methodical efforts receive recognition. A supervisor or important contact may acknowledge your reliability and thoroughness, qualities Taurus has in abundance. If you've been considering asking for additional responsibilities or compensation, the stars support thoughtful, well-prepared discussions about your professional worth. Socially, you might find yourself gravitating toward more intimate gatherings rather than large events. The Scorpio moon enhances your desire for meaningful connection over superficial networking. A dinner with a few close friends could yield more satisfaction than a crowded social function. If you do attend larger gatherings, you'll likely find yourself engaged in one-on-one conversations in quiet corners. Spiritually, today invites you to consider how your material values reflect your deeper principles. Taurus energy is often associated with the physical world, but there's a profound spiritual dimension to how you cultivate and share resources. Consider whether your current priorities truly reflect what you hold sacred. The Neptune-Uranus square might trigger revelations about where your spiritual and practical lives have fallen out of alignment. For creative pursuits, Venus in your communication house enhances artistic expression, particularly through writing, speaking, or musical endeavors. Your aesthetic sensibility is heightened today, making it an excellent time for design projects, artistic appreciation, or crafting the perfect ambience in your personal spaces. The key lesson for Taurus today involves finding balance between your natural desire for security and the universe's invitation to grow through calculated risks. Remember that your ruling planet Venus governs not just material pleasure, but the values that make life meaningful. When your actions align with your core values, you experience the deepest form of abundance. As the day concludes, take a moment to ground yourself through physical connection with nature, walking barefoot on grass, tending to plants, or simply breathing fresh air. This earthing practice resonates with your elemental nature and helps integrate the day's experiences into your being. Today's color affinity is deep emerald green, reflecting growth rooted in stability, the perfect metaphor for your journey on June 14, 2025. Trust your natural rhythm, dear Taurus, while remaining open to the gentle evolutionary nudges the universe sends your way. On June 14, 2025, the planetary landscape offers Taurus natives a particularly intriguing cosmic setup. The Sun continues its journey through Gemini, occupying your second house of finances and personal resources. This solar energy illuminates your material concerns and brings focus to your value systems, both tangible and intangible. With the Sun in this position, you're likely feeling a strong urge to evaluate your financial situation and reassess what truly matters to you. Mercury, the cosmic messenger, also resides in Gemini, amplifying this focus on financial communication and monetary decisions. Your thought processes are particularly clear when it comes to budgeting, investments, and resource allocation. Venus, your ruling planet, has moved into the sensitive waters of Cáncer, activating your third house of communication and short-distance travel. This placement softens your words with emotional intelligence and deepens your connections with siblings and neighbors. There's a protective quality to your expressions of affection now, as Venus in Cáncer encourages nurturing through communication. Mars energizes Leo, igniting your fourth house of home and foundations. This dynamic placement brings a surge of energy to domestic matters, perhaps manifesting as home improvement projects or assertive interactions with family members. The red planet in Leo gives you the confidence to establish your authority within your private domain. Jupiter, the planet of expansion and opportunity, occupies Gemini alongside the Sun, magnifying the focus on financial growth and material abundance. This beneficial giant's presence in your second house suggests a period where your earning potential could see significant expansion, though beware of corresponding tendencies toward excessive spending or financial overconfidence. Saturn continues its methodical journey through Pisces in your 11th house of social networks and long-term goals. This placement brings structure and necessary limitations to your social sphere and community involvements. You may be feeling the weight of responsibility within group settings or experiencing a pruning of your friendship circle to include only the most authentic connections. Uranus in Gemini brings its revolutionary energy to your financial sector, suggesting unexpected developments or innovative approaches to handling resources. This placement can bring sudden insights about financial matters or surprising changes to your income streams. The long-term presence of Neptune in Aries activates your 12th house of spirituality and the subconscious mind. This position brings inspirational energy to your spiritual practices and may manifest as vivid dreams or heightened intuition, particularly regarding your individual path and sense of purpose. Pluto's transformative power continues through Aquarius in your 10th house of career and public standing. This slow-moving planet is gradually but fundamentally altering your professional identity and relationship with authority. The moon, which changes signs approximately every 2.5 days, will likely be in Scorpio or Sagittarius on this date, either intensifying your relationship dynamics or expanding your philosophical outlook. For Taurus, the overall planetary picture on June 14, 2025, highlights a significant focus on financial matters with multiple planets in your second house. The Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Uranus, all in Gemini, create a powerful concentration of energy around money, possessions, and values. This cosmic configuration suggests a period of both opportunity and volatility in financial matters. Venus in Cáncer softens communications and brings an emotional dimension to your interactions, while Mars in Leo energizes domestic affairs and family relationships. The slower-moving outer planets contribute their ongoing influences to your social connections, spiritual development, and career evolution. This day may represent an important juncture in your relationship with material security, as the stellium in Gemini invites you to consider new approaches to abundance while remaining true to your grounded Taurian nature. On June 14, 2025, Taurus individuals will experience a notable shift in their communication landscape as Mercury forms a harmonious trine with your ruling planet Venus. This celestial alignment opens channels of expression that have felt blocked in recent weeks. Your words carry additional weight today, infused with both practicality and charm, a combination that makes others more receptive to your ideas and suggestions. The moon's position in Scorpio intensifies your emotional depth, allowing you to articulate feelings you typically keep hidden beneath your stoic exterior. This isn't just surface-level communication, you're accessing deeper truths. The third house activation by Jupiter expands your communicative reach, potentially bringing opportunities through writing, speaking, or digital media. If you've been contemplating starting a blog, podcast, or even making important phone calls regarding business matters, today's energy strongly supports these initiatives. Your normally measured pace of speech may accelerate slightly, but this serves you well as thoughts and words flow with unusual synchronicity. Neptune's subtle influence adds a poetic quality to your typically straightforward expression. You might surprise yourself with metaphors and analogies that perfectly capture complex emotions or concepts. This is particularly beneficial for Taurians in creative fields, education, or any role requiring persuasive communication. However, be mindful that this Neptunian energy can occasionally blur boundaries between imagination and reality. Double-check facts before making definitive statements. Saturn's position creates a temporary structure around your communication style, helping you organize thoughts that might otherwise feel too abstract or emotional to express coherently. This planetary support allows you to address difficult topics with both sensitivity and clarity, a rare combination that others will appreciate. If you've been avoiding a challenging conversation, today offers an astrological window where understanding is more easily achieved. Mars in Gemini activates your second house, connecting your communication to discussions about values, resources, and financial matters. Your words carry conviction when discussing practical matters, and you'll find yourself naturally steering conversations toward concrete outcomes rather than theoretical possibilities. This grounded approach serves you well in negotiations or when establishing boundaries in personal relationships. For partnered Taurus individuals, communication with significant others benefits from Venus's influence in your seventh house. There's an unusual openness between you and your partner, creating space for authentic exchanges that strengthen your connection. Single Taurians may find that their normally reserved demeanor gives way to more forthcoming expression, potentially opening doors to meaningful connections through conversation rather than your typical slow-build approach. Digital communication receives a boost from Mercury's position, making this an excellent day for updating your social media presence, sending important emails, or engaging in video conferences. Your online expression maintains the warmth and authenticity that characterizes in-person interactions, something that doesn't always translate through screens, but works remarkably well for you today. Your throat chakra, the energy center associated with expression, is especially activated today, which might manifest physically as a desire to sing, speak up in group settings, or engage in deeper one-on-one conversations. Some Taurians may even feel drawn to throat-soothing teas or wearing blue accessories near the neck area, unconsciously supporting this energetic opening. Writing flows particularly well under this alignment. If you journal or engage in any form of written expression, you'll find that your normally careful word selection happens more intuitively, without sacrificing the precision you value. Creative writing, business communications, and personal messages all benefit from this enhanced expressive capacity. The one caution today involves Uranus in your sign, which can occasionally prompt impulsive statements that contradict your typically measured approach. Before blurting out thoughts, especially criticisms, take a moment to ground yourself in your natural Taurian patience. This extra beat of consideration prevents unnecessary friction while still allowing for honest communication. Listening skills are equally enhanced today. You'll notice subtleties in others' communication that might typically escape your attention. This receptivity creates opportunities for deeper understanding in both personal and professional relationships. Pay particular attention to nonverbal cues, as you're unusually attuned to body language and tone variations. By evening, as the moon forms a sextile with Jupiter, group communications become especially rewarding. Dinner conversations, virtual gatherings, or community meetings allow you to express your perspectives in ways that unify rather than divide. Your natural ability to find common ground is amplified, making you an effective mediator in potentially tense discussions. Your communication theme for this day centers around authentic expression that doesn't sacrifice diplomacy, a balance that comes more naturally than usual under these astrological conditions. Embrace opportunities to voice thoughts you've been hesitant to share, particularly regarding matters of personal importance or long-term aspirations. For Taurus natives, June 14, 2025, presents a fascinating financial landscape with Venus, your ruling planet, forming a supportive trine with Jupiter in your wealth sector. This planetary arrangement opens doors to unexpected financial opportunities, particularly through previously established connections or investments that have been slowly maturing. The day carries a strong potential for passive income streams to suddenly become more fruitful than anticipated. Look for messages or notifications regarding investments or financial matters you set in motion roughly 6 months ago. They may finally bear fruit today. Jupiter's expansive energy specifically highlights opportunities related to property, land investments, or family businesses. Financial discussions started today tend to develop favorably over the next 3 weeks. The moon in Capricorn activates your ninth house of higher learning and expansion, suggesting that education or specialized knowledge could directly translate to financial gain. This might manifest as a certification program, workshop, or mentorship opportunity that initially seems costly but promises substantial returns. Pay special attention to financial advice coming from established institutions or elder figures around midday, as Saturn's influence lends credibility and long-term stability to these insights. Mercury's position indicates that written communications regarding money matters will flow smoothly, making this an excellent day for contract negotiations, grant applications, or pitching financial ideas. Be particularly attentive to opportunities requiring quick decision-making between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m., when a brief but potent window opens for securing advantageous terms. Your natural Taurian patience serves you well today, but avoid the tendency to overthink smaller financial decisions. Sometimes momentum generates its own rewards. The day's energy supports consolidating debts or refinancing at more favorable terms, with potential savings significant enough to justify any associated fees. An unexpected message from a past colleague or business associate could lead to a lucrative side opportunity, though it may require initial investment of time rather than money. Financial institutions are particularly responsive to your inquiries today, making this an excellent moment to request fee waivers, interest rate adjustments, or credit limit increases. Venus amplifies your natural charm in financial negotiations. You'll find others more willing to accommodate your requests than usual. The second half of the day favors reviewing recurring expenses and subscription services, where you're likely to discover unnecessary expenditures draining your resources. Implementing these cuts today, rather than postponing, will capture the supportive energy of Saturn, helping these changes stick. For Taurus entrepreneurs, customer acquisition costs decrease notably today, making it an optimal time for launching promotional campaigns or introductory offers. If considering a major purchase, morning hours favor research, while afternoon hours support negotiation and finalizing deals. Mars' position suggests being particularly cautious with impulse purchases of technology or gadgets. They may seem necessary, but could quickly become obsolete. The overall financial signature of the day supports steady growth rather than dramatic windfalls, aligning perfectly with your sign's preference for reliable progress. Your financial intuition is heightened, particularly regarding which opportunities align with your authentic values versus those that might generate short-term gains but long-term stress. Trust this internal guidance system. For employed Taurus individuals, a conversation about compensation or benefits might arise unexpectedly. Prepare your talking points in advance, as conditions favor those who can clearly articulate their value proposition. The day's most fortunate financial window occurs just after sunset, when Venus and the Moon create a brief but potent opportunity for financial discussions that benefit all parties involved. Remember that, with Uranus still moving through your sign, even conservative financial decisions may have surprisingly innovative outcomes. Approach the day with your characteristic thoroughness, but remain open to unconventional approaches, particularly in areas where traditional methods have yielded diminishing returns. June 14, 2025 holds significant promise for you, Taurus. On this day, you'll find yourself particularly blessed in specific areas that deserve your attention. With Uranus continuing its multi-year journey through your sign, there's a revolutionary energy supporting your evolution, especially in how you present yourself to the world. The day's most fortunate area revolves around financial planning and resource management. Venus, your ruling planet, forms a harmonious aspect with Jupiter, creating a pocket of abundance and opportunity. This is an excellent day to review investments, consider new income streams, or receive unexpected financial news. The universe is particularly supportive of practical financial decisions made today, especially those involving long-term security. Your professional life also receives beneficial energy as Mercury creates a productive sextile to Saturn. Communications with authority figures or mentors could open doors you weren't expecting. Someone may recognize your consistent efforts and reliability, traits your sign is famous for. Consider scheduling important meetings or sending proposals today, as your practical approach will be particularly appreciated. Domestic matters represent another sphere of good fortune. The moon's position activates your fourth house of home and family, creating a nurturing energy perfect for strengthening bonds with loved ones. If you've been considering home improvements or real estate matters, today's energy supports laying foundations for these projects. Your physical vitality receives a boost as Mars forms a supportive aspect to your sun sign. This gives you extra stamina and determination, making it an ideal day to begin health routines that require consistency. The endurance you're known for is amplified today. Creative endeavors, especially those involving your hands or voice, are particularly favored. Taurus rules the throat and possesses natural artistic talents today. These are highlighted and could bring recognition or satisfaction. Consider expressing yourself through music, crafting, cooking, or any tactile art form. For single Taurus individuals, social connections made today carry fortunate energy, especially when they occur in settings involving food, art, or nature, all Taurian domains. There's potential for meeting someone who appreciates your steadfast nature and sensual approach to life. For those already in relationships, shared experiences involving physical comfort and beauty will strengthen bonds. Earth-centered activities bring particular luck today. Gardening, hiking, or simply spending time in natural settings will ground your energy and connect you with favorable currents. Your practical magic is strongest when you're in contact with nature's elements. Pay special attention to synchronicities involving the number 6 today, as it carries particular significance for your sign at this time. Trust your body's wisdom above all else. Your sign's intuition works through physical sensations rather than abstract thoughts. This bodily intelligence will guide you toward fortunate outcomes if you heed its subtle messages. Overall, June 14th offers you a day of grounded prosperity and sensual abundance, highlighting the very qualities that make Taurus such a powerful force in the zodiac. As a Taurus, June 14th, 2025 brings particularly noteworthy energy to your social sphere. With Venus, your ruling planet, positioned in Cáncer and activating your third house of communication, your natural charm is enhanced in both intimate conversations and group settings. This planetary alignment creates a perfect atmosphere for deepening existing connections rather than expanding your social circle widely. You're likely to feel more emotionally attuned to friends and family members, perceiving subtle shifts in their moods that might normally escape your notice. This heightened sensitivity serves you well today, allowing you to offer precisely the kind of support others need without them having to ask directly. The moon's position creates a harmonious trine with your sun sign, amplifying your natural steadfastness and reliability qualities that make you the emotional anchor in your social circle today. Friends may seek your grounding presence amid their own uncertainties. Mercury in Gemini activates your second house, suggesting that conversations around shared resources, values, or financial matters could strengthen bonds with those who align with your practical approach to life. This isn't just about money, it's about finding common ground in what you collectively value. Jupiter's expansive energy in Gemini simultaneously creates opportunities for meaningful exchanges of ideas, particularly with individuals who challenge your sometimes fixed perspectives. While typically preferring familiar social territories, today you benefit from stepping slightly outside your comfort zone, perhaps accepting an invitation from a newer acquaintance or reconnecting with someone from your past. Social gatherings hosted at home or in comfortable, intimate settings will prove most fulfilling, as Neptune's influence heightens your need for emotional safety in social contexts. Professional connections also receive beneficial aspects today, with Saturn in Pisces providing structure to networking efforts that might otherwise feel scattered. A colleague or industry contact could offer valuable insight or opportunity if you're willing to engage beyond surface-level conversation. Digital communications receive an extra boost of clarity, an excellent day for meaningful exchanges through text, social media, or video calls, especially with those at a distance. Your natural gift for creating comfortable environments extends to virtual spaces today. Group dynamics may experience a shift as Mars energizes your fourth house of foundations, possibly triggering minor tensions with dominant personalities. Your steady approach will prevail if you maintain boundaries without becoming inflexible. Trust your intuitive understanding of relationship dynamics, which is particularly strong under today's aspects. Community involvement or volunteer activities initiated today have lasting potential, as Pluto's transformative energy supports endeavors that align with your authentic values. An unexpected conversation could reveal shared interests with someone you previously viewed as merely an acquaintance, opening doors to a potentially significant friendship. Pay attention to recurring themes in social interactions. They contain valuable messages about your evolving social needs. While you typically prefer depth over breadth in relationships, today's planetary alignment encourages finding balance between intimate connections and broader social engagement. Your capacity for active listening becomes your greatest social asset today. Others sense your genuine interest, which attracts meaningful exchanges rather than superficial chit-chat. As the day progresses, your social energy remains remarkably steady, unlike some signs who might experience fluctuations. This constancy allows you to maintain presence across multiple social contexts without feeling drained. Consider how your social connections reflect your evolving identity and values, particularly as Uranus continues its longer transit through your sign, gradually reshaping your approach to relationships. The overall social forecast for today suggests meaningful connections rather than quantity of interactions, exactly the approach that aligns with your Taurian nature. As the universe aligns uniquely for you today, Taurus, there's a profound invitation to ground yourself while simultaneously expanding your horizons. With Venus forming a harmonious trine to Saturn, structure and beauty are dancing together in your cosmic landscape. This isn't merely a day for routine, it's a day for purposeful stability and intentional pleasure. Begin your morning by physically connecting with the earth. Consider walking barefoot on grass or soil if possible, allowing the natural electromagnetic energy to balance your root chakra. This grounding practice will serve as an anchor throughout what might become an intellectually stimulating but potentially scattered day. The Gemini sun, illuminating your second house of resources and values, asks you to reassess what truly matters to you beyond the material. Perhaps create a 3-column inventory: what you own, what you need, and what truly brings you joy. The intersection of these categories reveals your authentic path forward. Communication may require extra attention today as Mercury squares Neptune, creating a misty veil between your intentions and how others perceive them. Before important conversations, take 3 deep breaths and visualize clarity surrounding your words. When speaking, pace yourself deliberately. The tendency today is to rush through important points or assume others can follow your internal logic. Financially, today favors methodical review rather than impulsive decisions. The moon in Capricorn in your 9th house of higher learning suggests wisdom comes through careful consideration of the bigger picture. How do your resources align with your longer-term vision? This afternoon presents an opportunity to harmonize your practical nature with your evolving values. Physical well-being deserves focused attention. Your ruling planet Venus highlights the connection between pleasure and health today. Consider how movement can be both functional and enjoyable. Rather than forcing yourself through a workout routine that feels like punishment, find activities that celebrate your body's capabilities while gently expanding them. Your characteristic patience serves you well today, particularly when dealing with others who may seem erratic or